begrüßen nach dem 349. Wiener Derby. Die Kollegen, die hinten arbeiten, kommen auch noch nach vorne. Coach, a draw in your second derby here in the Generali Arena. Could you give us a analysis from your side? One point or two lost points. How do you see it?
I don't think we can complain about 1 point at the end when we score so late. But I think actually in the first half we have the game as we want to have it. I think we're controlling the game. We are lacking probably the big chances, but we are dealing with their pressure pretty well, which gave us the picture of the game that we wanted. And then we also know that sometimes it's about making the opposition tired when we have the ball a lot. So of course, obviously the goal that we conceded changed quite a bit, and we lost a little bit of momentum, and also for second half had to make some changes and also some changes in the structure to make the game a little bit more open, which gave them some transition moments and some set piece situations. And for us, not the amount of chances that we wanted, but still some good opportunities for us. A great goal from Erci. And of course, we are close at the end with the situation for Bendy. So there's good things, and there was also some not so good things, and that's what we focus on for tomorrow.
Thank you. Your questions, please. Bitte, Johannes.
It's been the third game in a row with such a costly individual mistake. How will you address this? Because if it keeps happening, it will always change the rhythm of the game in a negative way.
And that's the negative perspective to take on it. I think the positive perspective is how much we control the first half, and those kind of passes make us control the game as we did. Then of course we have to look at what's going on here. Is it concentration? Is it focus? Is it not knowing exactly where to pass the ball and how to move? Because now I keep on talking about learning, but now we should get to a point where we should have learned from some of these mistakes, because it cannot keep on happening. But on the other side, we also have to play with a little bit of risk to control the game, like we especially did in first half. So there's constantly this balance between not making it too complicated, not taking too much risk, but also knowing that we have to play like we do to control the game. So it's a delicate one, but we focus on it tomorrow.
Was there enough progress for you compared to the last game against Sturm? You said Sturm had the opportunity to play their game, and today I had the feeling, at least in some situations, some phases, Austria had this chance as well.
Of course, it's a tight game when you play a derby like we do today, and I don't think anyone was expecting that it would be a 3 or 4-0 for any of the teams. It's always tight. There's so many emotions in the air. There's so much intensity and so many duels. But when I go back and look at that first half where we have so much under control and they are struggling to put us under pressure, I think that's a good step in a good direction, that we can go away here and take the game into our hands as we did in first half. Then of course there's moments that I'm not satisfied with, the goal, for example. And of course the amount of chances that we create, it should be more, but we still have some good crossing opportunities. Bendy have a good chance with the chip pass from Matti, where if he just gets a little bit better finish to that one, then it's a quite big chance. So I think we were getting into there, and just the seconds before the goal and the minutes before the goal, we control everything. So it's, of course, we have to get rid of these situations, because then we need to chase the whole second half and the rhythm of the game becomes different. So that's a big thing for us, but I'm satisfied that we can just go here and take the game into our hands as we did. So that's a good step for us, but we're not even close to being good enough still.
Bitte, Thomas.
Coach, let's talk about the goal. Everybody's talking about the pass from Romeo, but when you look at the center of the pitch,
Yeah.
I had the feeling that everybody thought that the situation is clear.
Yeah.
I had the feeling that a couple of players lost focus on the situation. Would you agree on this? Maybe it was a collective error to score?
I try to see everything as collective, because of course there's a mistake, but a mistake like that should never be punished the worst way. Then it means that there's something on the pitch that is not perfect and not the way that we want it, because we need to have more backup to secure that a situation like that cannot end in a goal. And I think actually you're pointing to something that is a thing for us, because I think we have moments also in second half, but also some moments in first half where there's a little bit lack of concentration. That probably tells me also that this team is still developing. I would also like us to to be a little bit more calm and probably look for some more direct solutions on our goal kicks in the moments where they have just had 2-3 corner kicks and free kicks in a row, instead of feeding that pressure, instead of feeding their momentum in the game. Then we need to step on the ball and take a better decision, and that's a place we have to go with this team, so we're not punished the maximum way every time we make mistakes.
Coach, and you spoke about the changes that you made at halftime. At the start of the second half, I had the feeling that offensively you lost a bit of the rhythm.
Yeah, we did.
Do you see it the same
Yeah.
way? And the second part of the question is, I know hindsight is always 20/20, but would you change something that you've changed?
We thought, and that was the purpose behind the start of second half, that we could continue with the good stuff from first half. That we could just step in and do exactly the same in second. Some small adjustments. We focused a little bit more on our runs in behind on the last line, which I'm still not satisfied with. But we hope that we could continue and then work our way into the game. But we could also see, I think I take the decision after 8-9 minutes that we need to change more players, because we're not having the rhythm in the game. We're not having the control that I want in the game. So that was the reason by the 3 men coming on after, I can't remember the exact minute, but around 60, maybe a little bit more, because I was not satisfied with our start to second half.
And one more question from my side. Football is a game of mistakes, and every player, as you said, so often can make mistakes. But it's how the team, the group handled it. There were certain easy passing mistakes.
Yeah.
Where the shoulders went down, the head went down, and you were coaching in the coaching zone and calmed everybody down and put the heads up. You said your team is developing. Do you see this is one of the main development steps that your team has to make, that even with an easy mistake, don't let your self-confidence down?
Yes, 100%. And it's a big thing, because we play the way that we want to play. Like I've said now a couple of times, I think there's many positives in first half. The only negative is the amount of chances that we create. We should create more with the momentum and the amount of passes and possession that we have. And then there's these moments where we out of just a single situation, lose the momentum a little bit, lose the confidence on the ball a little bit, make 2 easy mistakes, take 2 bad touches. And that of course can change a game like this, which you also saw at the end of the game. When we scored the goal, the game changed like this, and we are close to get the second goal, actually, because it goes so fast in football. And we have to understand that just a loss of concentration for a split second, then everything can change. And that probably also tells me, like I've also said a couple of times, we're still developing this team. We're still building this team. We're not done yet. And this is probably one of the main things that tells us that we're not done with this team. We keep on improving.
Bitte, Alex.
Coach, is there a new program with Jakob Schöller?
No. It was planned, but I like him very much, and if I can get 45 minutes out of him, I take 45. If I can get 2.5 minutes out of him, I take 2.5. But he's actually improving, and he's actually better than when we started him the first game in Salzburg, right? So he's feeling better. We still have to be very careful with him, and being able to train him also next week, and so he's ready for the week with 3 games in 7 days, starting from next Sunday.
I know you're very self-critical. In my opinion, the structure was lost after the 3 changes, and maybe did you overwhelm the players with a new structure?
Yeah, maybe. I have to see. We prepared them in halftime, so we said what we wanted, what we could see with the structure. We tried to be more offensive. We tried to be more direct, but we were not really direct. We had Andy and Archie on the last line, and we had 2 players in Yannis Antista and Yusuf just below that for second ball, so we could be much more direct in our approach, but we were not really. Then we gave it a chance to see if Matti Seidel could handle that role as a single 6, where we could see he needed support in there, which is fair enough. So we tried. If you probably saw me in second half, I was screaming and shouting and Jussi to get him closer to Matti, so we had more protection in that central area because we lost the rhythm. So I agree with your perspective and what you have seen. So when we got him closer to Matti, I think we started to find the rhythm again, but it took some time.
Flo, glaubt du? Ja, bitte, Flo.
You talked about the 3 games in a week that they had. How important is the point that you take out of here for the rest of the title race that is now gearing up?
It's an important point because I never talk about deserved or not deserved in football, but I think we did in many ways a more than okay first half where we go away in a derby and take a lot of control of the game, which we have to remember. I think we create more dangerous moments than they do in first half. Then of course they score and then they are on top for some parts of second half, but then we're also pushing the last 15 minutes and are close with some chances and some situations also after the goal. So I think it would have been hard for us not to at least get 1 point out of this game today. It makes a difference because there's much more positivity now that we get that 1 point and we can bring that into the next week, and we know that everything is so tight. And again, when you watch the other games of this top 6 group, everyone can take points for everyone. So we have to be as sharp as possible and focused as possible. So one thing that makes me happy is that Erci comes on and scores. Because the next 3 games we cannot play with the same lineup for all these 3 games in a row. So we need to now open up more for some of the ones that are not played so much. We have to find the right game and the right timing for them. So it makes me happy that he comes on and scores because it tells me that he's ready.
The next 2 games are against Hartberg. You could probably be considered the favorites in this game, given that they are bottom of the top 6 group. Do you see there's a chance to really get close to the rivals that are in front of you in the standings?
To be absolutely honest, I think it's difficult for me to say what is the best game for us to play, who's the best team to play against, because the fact is also we have got maximum points in my time here against Red Bull Salzburg. So what is actually, who are the best teams for us to play against? So I'm not really focusing too much about that. The only focus in my mind is to prepare the team the best way so we can get the maximum out of first the Sunday game, and then we start focusing on the next game. I saw the first 30 minutes of Sturm today against Hartberg, and I can see they can also cause troubles for every team in this top 6 group here, especially with the transition game. And they did it also to us last time we played them, so there's also some things we have to be aware of with that team. So only thing I'm focused on is the maximum preparation and performance.
Dankeschön. Dann thanks, Johannes, und machen wir Platz dem Trainer der Gastgeber. Schönen Sonntag noch und bis zum nächsten Mal. Danke. Thank you.